Hello friends, how are you? My name is Corbin Reed and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I use a couple of tools that if you are new to DIY you may already have in your own home. A miter saw, a jigsaw, things that I use to make a stair skirt on my stairs. I'm slowly trying to add architectural elements to my home. I live in a new build townhome, so I'm trying to add architectural elements to my home that make it feel less like a new build and more like a New York brownstone, which is adding elements like, you know, decorative molding, picture frame molding, wainscoting, wallpaper, anything that adds texture and detail. So this is why I'm adding a stair skirt. This is something that people oftentimes hire a contractor out to do, but after watching a bunch of YouTube videos and doing a bunch of research, I discovered there was a easy way to do this on your own without shelling out a ton of money to hire a contractor to do this for you. So if you have these two tools, a jigsaw and a circular saw, then you too can get this project done on your own in your home if it is of interest to you. So if you're interested in how I did this and you want to learn these easy, simple techniques, then please just keep on watching. So this is a before of what my staircase looked like. This leads up to the loft, which I did do a makeover on, which you will see soon, so stay tuned for that. But the walls were just really scuffed up at the baseboard, and it was just time to put something there to protect it. So a stair skirt is the perfect thing. So I started out by using craft paper and painter's tape to tape a template to the wall. I basically had to use the painter's tape to really tape exactly around the round parts on the step. I think these are called the risers or the treads, so that I could go in with a marker and trace around them and then cut around them and take them off the wall. So this, I just took a 8-foot pine board that I had lying around, laid them on the top of the step, and took a marker and drew all the way to the top. This is going to also serve as the line for the template of the stair skirt that I will be cutting off at the top. So I took a straight edge and a box cutter, and I cut this angled line going up the stairs and then removed the excess, and you'll be able to see how this takes shape as I cut the excess craft paper and tape away from the wall. This is just a much easier method than trying to measure. Just lay a board down on top of the steps and it should work out perfectly as a template for your stair skirt. I've laid out 16 feet of board, and this is actually not even long enough. I'm gonna have to put a couple more, just another like 10 inches of board on here, but this is an MDF board and I'm just laying the template out onto the board so I can trace it, and I've sort of aligned them next to each other here. And you will see from the template that I did go in and cut around those round parts on the treads of the stair. I just didn't show it, it was too detailed, but you can see it's got that perfect round sort of inset there for me to trace into with the marker onto the MDF board. This is very important because my stairs aren't just like perfect 90-degree angles, and they have this sort of, I think they call it bullnose on them. This was the easiest way for me to get perfect exact measurements. Now I did over trace the line so that I could go in with my circular saw and cut that 90-degree angle and just sort of take out those pieces, and then I will go in with my jigsaw to get those rounded pieces, those of the bull nose. And once it's perfectly cut out, if this works out correctly, then it will sit flush to the steps. And this is the first piece of board here. I'm just showing you how I slide it in. I did take a hammer and tap it on, and I was really excited that this actually worked. I really honestly could not believe it, but it was a gorgeous fit, and any sort of extra gaps that you see I will be able to fill with caulk. Caulk is your friend. Caulk is magic. Also, you can use, if you need other fillers, there's wood filler and things like that. Now I did want an extra decorative element here, so I am coming in with some molding, and I am just going to add that to the top of this MDF board. I like the look of that decorative molding. I am slowly trying to add elements that make my townhouse feel really more like a New York City brownstone, and in brownstones they do not just have white walls that are flat. There's thickness to the walls, there's decorative elements on the walls, like, you know, crown molding or baseboard molding or dental molding, or, you know, a lot picture frame molding like I've added all over my home, or a wainscoting. There's so many different things, and so this is why I've done a lot of these decorative elements on my walls. And I'm going in with a brad nailer, and I'm not using glue or anything because it's really not necessary, but I'm just using, I think, 1.5 inch brad nails. Now this step I don't know that I needed to take, but I found this angled cutter on Amazon, and there was an angle at the top of the steps that I needed the molding to align to the wall, so I just cut it at the angle that it needed to be cut at with this cutter. I think it has like a 35-degree angle built in, a 25, a 45, and a 90, and just depending on what the angle is of your steps, you know, that's what you should cut it to on the molding. Now I taped everything up at the base of the stair skirt and the top, and put plastic down because I'm a messy painter, and I did put the caulk on after I taped, just so I can get a nice clean line. And when I use caulk, I definitely use my finger to smooth the line out, but I do like to have a damp cloth next to me. It just makes for a much cleaner line, really. It makes it easier to work with the product, and then in conjunction with the tape, you're just going to get a nice smooth look. So I'm caulking all the lines on the molding and the stairs. And now the last step in this process was to paint. I did go in with the Zinsser Bin primer and paint the molding and the baseboard, the MDF board, with a primer first. And then I went over it with my favorite color that I've been using all over my kitchen and my living room for all of my decorative moldings, which is Silk Chamois by Benjamin Moore. It's the perfect creamy white that adds warmth and depth to any space. And this is what it looks like after 2 coats of the paint and 1 coat of the primer. And now for the best part, taking off the tape. I usually do not wait for the paint to dry more than, I would say, an hour before I take the tape off, because I don't want the paint to dry entirely, and I also don't want the caulk to dry entirely, because you risk ripping up some of the paint if it dries completely. So it's best to rip it off when it's still just like a little bit damp, and then just avoid touching it. That way you get a nice clean line. And this is what it looked like when it was finished. Here's a look back at the before one more time. The scuffed up walls, just kind of boring and plain. And here is the after. I love the decorative element that this adds, the architectural element that this adds to my townhome, and how it leads into the wainscoting that I have on the loft floor, which you will see soon. But I also love that I was able to do this very complicated project on my own using some simple tools and techniques that I've learned from different people on YouTube and the internet, of course without hiring a contractor. Thank you so much for tuning in today to this video. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, then please, please, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video or comment on this video what your favorite part was. What did you learn? Is this something that you would try in your own home? I love hearing from you guys, and it just helps the algorithm find my videos. I'm really trying to get picked up by the algorithm. I've made a lot of videos at this point, so it seems like you guys really love my content, and I would love it if the algorithm loved it too. So please leave a comment, it's super helpful. And also, if you're not already following me on Instagram, be sure to follow me over at storydesign_ with Corbin Reed. Over there, I share more minute-to-minute updates, like I shared the minute-to-minute updates on this project before I posted it here, which was almost a month ago, and like inspiration that I find on the internet from other like interior design DIY channels and things like that, and just like more fun content, shorter content, of course, because it's Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning into this video today, you guys. I'm so grateful for you for being here. And yeah, I'll be back very soon in a few days with another one. Bye.